Giants keep losing to those last place teams. Now the Giants are 1-5 in the last 6 games. They lose to the Mets tonight 5-3. This is Giants Roundup on Wednesday, August 22nd, Game 3 of a 4-game series. You can follow on Twitter, join the Croup and Kite page on Facebook. Most importantly, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. And yes, this was... Well, if there's any positives to tonight, the Giants keep improving their draft position for next year. But yeah, the Giants fall now to 62-66 on the season, 28-40 on the road. And one more game against the Mets before they head home to play. Head home to play the Texas Rangers. Casey Kelly was decent on the mound tonight. Allows 4 runs, only 2 were earned. Hunter Strickland an earned run in 2 innings pitched. And unfortunately, Brandon Crawford, you know what? 2 errors tonight. Crawford had 2 errors tonight and went 0 for 3. To me, after tonight for Brandon Crawford, he needs to be riding the pine tomorrow. Normally after a 2-error night, I think he needs to sit in the dugout, and I think a mental rest could be needed for Crawford. He did get a day off on Tuesday, but I think maybe give him another day off on Thursday, and 12 errors on 2 errors tonight. It's just not, it was not a good night for Crawford. And then to make matters worse, 0 for 3 with a walk. I say bench him tomorrow. Noah Syndergaard was okay on the mound. 6 innings, pitched 2 earned, 6 strikeouts. And then Drew Smith an earned run in 2/3 of an inning pitched. The rest of the bullpen was excellent. But the Mets got the damage done early with a home run by Dominic Smith. It is 1-0 Mets. And then the new giant killer for the Mets tonight, Jeff McNeil hits a singles to right. It scores Reinheimer. It scored 2-0. Then Todd Frazier with the ground rule double to deep left. It scores Jose Bautista, 3-0 Mets. Then in the top of the 3rd inning, the Giants would try to come back. Steven Duggar grounds out to first. It scores Austin Slater, 3-1. Joe Panic singles to right. It scores Gorkas, 3-2. Then the Mets would come back with a home run by Jose Bautista, 4-2 Mets. And the Giants, Austin Slater hits his first home run of the season. It is 4-3. And then Todd Frazier with a homer to left. It's 5-3. That would be your final score of the night. And Jeff McNeil, another night, good night for him. He goes 2 for 4. Todd Frazier, 2 for 4. And Bautista with his 11th bomb of the year. Frazier with his 13th bomb of the year. And the Giants are near double digits behind at this point. They're pretty much out of it for all intents and purposes. Now Andrew McCutchen clears waivers. We'll see if he is traded at some point in time now. And if I'm the Giants, now that he's cleared waivers, you have to think about an option B. Sam Dyson. I think it's certainly time to start the waivers clock on Sam Dyson. See if anybody takes him, because you need to get some salary off the books in order to avoid the CBT. We'll see what happens with that. But we'll see if they do find a trade partner for Andrew McCutchen in the coming days. Certainly, Cleveland could be a viable option. Philly could be a viable option for a trade for Andrew McCutchen. And then now just in case you can't find anything, Your fallback option needs to be Sam Dyson. Try to find a trade partner for him. I certainly think a team like St. Louis could use a back-end reliever. Colorado could use some late innings help. But mercifully, after tomorrow, the Giants head home. There will be no show tomorrow. And the Giants will head home for a homestand of tomorrow night. They will play Texas, Arizona, then the Mets again. So, and also it looks like Matt Harvey has cleared waivers along with Billy Hamilton. So we shall see if they find trade partners for these guys very soon. But it looks like Matt Harvey was claimed off of waivers. We don't know the team yet. It could be the Milwaukee. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Milwaukee Brewers or the Oakland A's. As they said, McCutcheon's cleared waivers. And then Billy Hamilton's also been claimed off of waivers by somebody, so we'll see what happens. The teams have another week to place players on the waiver trade deadline in order for them to count on the roster for the postseason. But for the Giants, it will. For tomorrow, it will be Jacob deGrom against Madison Bumgarner. So this should be a really good matchup. There will be no show tomorrow since it's a weekday matinee game. Then on Friday, we'll be back on air Friday as the Giants will head home to play the Texas Rangers. Derek Rodriguez will return off the DL to face Drew Hutchinson in Game 2. In Game 1 of a 3-game series between the two teams. Saturday will be to be determined against Martin Perez. And I think that will likely be Chris Stratton. It will likely be Chris Stratton on Saturday, and I think Sunday will be Casey Kelly. No, it would be Derek Holland. I think Saturday will be Derek Holland. Sunday will be Chris Stratton. And Giovanni Gallardo will be the Rangers starter on Sunday in a 3-game rematch of the 2010 World Series at AT&T Park. Then Monday, the Arizona Diamondbacks come to town for a 3-game series. Then they get a day off August 30th. Then they will conclude the homestand against the New York Mets for 3 games at AT&T Park. Then they hit their next roadie, which will be Labor Day in Colorado. And that will be Colorado and Milwaukee. They'll be long out of the playoff race by then. And we shall see who will be called up by then. But the first things first, let's hopefully get somebody traded here so we can shut down Posey. At this point, it's pointless to be rolling out Buster Posey to start. If he needs the surgery, shut him down. It's really pointless for him to start the rest of the year. I don't want him to get any more hurt than he is. Think about his health. And realistically, next year, he needs to play first base. That's what I said last night. but we shall see. I totally would not be surprised if we hear the word Sam Dyson placed on waivers by tomorrow. And we shall see what happens there. Also today, the Giants' 2019 schedule was released today. And let's take a look at the 2019 regular season schedule. The Giants will start on the road this year. In 2019, excuse me, they'll start on the road in San Diego on Thursday, March 28th. So this is probably one of the earliest baseball seasons we've seen in a while. They will play 4 games against the San Diego Padres. Then they head to LA to play the dreaded Dodgers for 3. Then they head home for their home opener on April 5th as Evan Longoria will face his former team for the first time, and Matt Duffy, maybe Christian Arroyo of the Tampa Bay Rays. So a bunch of ex-Rays and ex-Giants going against each other in the home opener this year. And that'll be Friday, April 5th. Then after that, the Friars come to town for 3 games. Then they play Colorado. Then they get a day off. They go on the road to D.C. starting April 16th for 3 games against the Nationals. Then head to Pittsburgh for 3, get a day off. Then they head across the border to Toronto to play the Blue Jays. Then they head home Friday, April 26th on Clovis Rodeo weekend to play the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees for 3 games. Then the dreaded Dodgers for 3 games at AT&T Park. May 3rd, they head to Cincinnati for 4, play Colorado. They head home, play Cincinnati again. May 14th, they get a 2-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Head back on the road for a short road trip in the desert for against the D-backs starting May 17th. May 20th, they head back home to play the Atlanta Braves and Arizona Diamondbacks. May 28th at the date. And yes, I think the Giants actually get a day off this year on Memorial Day. That is kind of weird. Hello, Zofer. How are you doing tonight? They get a rare Memorial Day off. Normally, everybody plays on Memorial Day. So the day after Memorial Day, they head to Miami to play the Marlins. 2 rebuilding teams here against the Marlins. Then May 31st, they head to Baltimore for 3 against the Orioles. Then a day off, they head to Queens, play the New York Mets in June. Then they head back home to play the Dodgers again on June 7th. Get another day off June 10th. 2 games against the Friars, another day off. Then they play the Milwaukee Brewers at home. Then they head back on the road June 17th to play 4 against the Dodgers. Oh, I'm good today. 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks in Arizona. Then they head back home to play Colorado at the end of June. Then a day off, they play the D-backs for 3. Then July 1st, they head to San Diego. And this is another oddity this year. The Giants will not play on 4th of July in 2019. That is weird. The day after the 4th, they play St. Louis at home. Then the All-Star break. After the break, they head to Milwaukee, Colorado. Then July 18th, they head back home to play the Mets, the Cubs. The day off, then they head on the road to play San Diego. Then go to Philadelphia, go to Colorado August 5th. They host Washington, Philadelphia. Day off. Then the first time they play the Oakland A's in 2019 will not be until Tuesday, August 13th for 2 games. Then after that, August 15th, they head on the road for 4 against Arizona. Day off the 19th. August 20th, they head to Wrigley to play the Cubs. Day off on the 23rd. They head to Oakland August 24th for 2. head home, play Arizona for 2, get a day off Wednesday, August 28th. August 29th, they play the Friars. September 2nd, they head to St. Louis for 4. They go to LA for 3. Head back home and play Pittsburgh and Miami in September. Off day. Then the final roadie would be September 17th to play the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. Then Atlanta on the 20th. They head back home on September 24th, where they will play Colorado and LA. So that is your 2019 schedule for the Giants. We will see how this team looks. There's definitely going to be a lot of changes in 2019. We'll see if Mad Bum's still on the roster. We'll see I doubt Joe Panic's going to be here next year. Brandon Belt, 50-50. He's still around. If he's still around next season, Brandon Belt will likely be moving to the outfield. And hopefully we will be seeing Buster Posey be playing first base every day and not catching every day. We got to start thinking about Buster Posey's health. Hopefully they'll get a bridge catcher for Joey Bart next year and just start the bridge to Joey Bart. He will be, and people want Joey Bart up in September. The kid hasn't even gone to San Jose yet. That's where he will likely start 2019, is in San Jose. And there's certainly a possibility there'll be a new manager next year, so we shall see what happens this offseason. But the schedule has been released for 2019. Now on to the MLB Roundup for tonight. In the only game that's final thus far, the Rays beat the Royals 6-3, taking the win. Yanni Chirino's taking the loss. Jake Junis. Sergio Romo gets his 18th save of the year. Kevin Kiermaier going 2 for 3 for the Rays tonight. Ryan O'Hearn 3 for 4 for Kansas City. Ryan Stanek was the opener tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays. And other games that are final. The Blue Jays blank the Orioles 6-0. The Orioles have already lost 90 games this season thus far. Thomas Pannone surrendered 7 scoreless innings in his major league debut. David Hess, tough loss tonight. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned. And yeah, 1 run, 1 earned. The 5 earned were allowed by Miguel Castro. And now Baltimore's lost 90 games already. Kansas City has lost. Find out in a moment on that. In Milwaukee, the Brewers beat the Reds 4-0, taking the win. Freddie Peralta, 7 scoreless innings, taking the loss. Robert Stevenson. Lorenzo Cain going 3 for 5 for the Brew Crew tonight. And we'll see if Matt Harvey will be on his way to Milwaukee here. In Chicago, the White Sox beat the Twins 7-3, taking the win. Carlos Rodon taking the loss. Kyle Gibson, who walks 4 in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Logan Forsythe goes 3 for 5. 4 runs, 7 earned in 4 2/3 for Gibson. Not a great outing for him. And let's see, Chicago and Kansas City has lost 89 games thus far. And on the other side of the bay in Oakland today, the A's lose to the Rangers 4-2, taking the win. Mike Minor taking the loss. Edwin Jackson, who surrenders 4 in 4 1/3 innings pitched. Matt Bender goes 2 for 3 for Oakland. And now Oakland falls a game back of Houston as they beat the Mariners today 10-7, taking the win. Charlie Morton Not effective, but he did get the win. 5 innings pitched, 6 earned. Luckily, Marco Gonzalez only surrendered 8 earned in 3 innings pitched for Seattle. And Tyler White goes 3 for 5. Former Grizzly Tyler White. Martin Maldonado 3 for 5. Tony Kemp 3 for 4 for the Astros today. Tyler White and Maldonado each hit their 8th home runs of the season. Ryan Healy goes 3 for 4 for the Mariners. And Joe Smith an earned run in 2/3 of an inning pitched for Houston. In Pittsburgh tonight, the Braves beat the Pirates 2-1, taking the win. Julio Teheran taking the loss. Former Giant Kyle Crick, who surrenders an earned run without recording an out. And now Atlanta is 2.5 games over Philadelphia in the NL East. A big win tonight. Games currently in progress. In the top of the ninth, the Phillies lead the Nationals 7-6. Jimmy Cordero currently on the mound. Nick Williams 2 for 3 for the Phillies. Bryce Harper 3 for 4 for the Nationals. Zach Eflin, not a good night tonight. 5 runs, 4 earned in 3 1/3 innings pitched. Steven Strasburg, not much better tonight. 5 earned in 4 innings pitched for Washington. Strikes out 5. Wander Suteru, an earned run in 2 innings pitched. Justin Miller, earned run in 2/3 of an inning pitched for Washington. And this game's about to be final. In the bottom of the ninth, the Cubs lead the Tigers 8-2. Pitching is Brandon Kinsler for the Cubbies. Nicholas Castellanos 3 for 4 for the Tigers. And not a good night for Victor Alcantara, 4 earned in 1/3 of an inning pitched. And I think that was a bomb by Anthony Rizzo. And it was a grand salami for Anthony Rizzo tonight. That was the big difference maker there. In Boston, the Red Sox lead the Indians 10-4. This game's about to be final. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. And it just went final. The Red Sox beat the Indians 10-4. Tonight's winning pitcher is Heath Hembree, taking the loss. Carlos Carrasco, 5 earned, 6 runs in 3 2/3 innings pitched, struck out 6. Dan Otero, 2/3, 1 2/3, 2 earned. In Miami, with 1 out in the top of the ninth, the Marlins lead the Yankees 9-3. Austin Dean 3 for 5 for the Marlins. JT Riddle off the bench 1 for 1. Riddle hits his 8th home run of the year. Lance Lynn, not great on the mound tonight. 5 earned and 5 1/3 innings pitched. Chance Adams, 4 runs, 3 earned, and 1 2/3 innings pitched for the Bombers. In Colorado, in the top of the 7th, the Rockies lead the Padres 5-1. Pitching for the Rockies is John Gray. Trevor Story 2 for 3. Charlie Blackmon 2 for 3. Jacob Nix, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned for the Friars tonight. In Arizona, the D-backs lead the Angels 2-0. In the top of the 4th inning, pitching for the D-backs is Clay Buchholz. Rene Rivera 1 for 1. Paul Goldschmidt 1 for 1. His 29th home run on the year. And Odrismar Despaigne now pitching for the LA Angels. And in LA, the Dodgers and Cardinals are tied at no score. In the bottom of the second inning, Jack Flaherty pitching for the Cardinals. Walker Buehler pitching for the Dodgers. And tonight in the minors, in the battle of Highway 99, the Fresno Grizzlies currently lead the Sacramento River Cats 1-0 in the top of the second. And Reno currently trailing the Tacoma Rainiers 1-0. Fresno's magic number to clinch is 6. So we shall see how the Fresno Grizzlies do tonight. And that will conclude tonight's edition of Giants Roundup. We will be back on Friday night after the Giants and Rangers game. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday and a good Thursday. We'll see you after the after I get back from the Greek Fest. Opa! Good night!